Everything Vancouver.
A beloved community space in Mount Pleasant is getting its due. The Vancouver Heritage Foundation to present the ANZA Club with the Places That Matter plaque tomorrow night. Rowan Jang is a member of the club's board of directors. Why is it a place that matters?
Well, I mean, it's been in the neighborhood since 1969, the Mount Pleasant neighborhood, and the club itself has existed since 1935. It was started by a group of Australian and New Zealander businessmen. ANZA stands for Australia New Zealand Association. And the purpose originally was to meet and welcome visitors from those two countries and to gather socially. It wasn't an obscure event. The Australian Trade Commissioner was actually at the first meeting. And there was no one central location at the time. They first started meeting at the Hotel Georgia and then at the HMCS Discovery in Stanley Park. And they were doing things like dance socials. And before long, it was very popular. Attendance was overflowing. And so the demand came to get their own property. And they purchased our current property in April of 1969. And they've been there ever since. Over the years, the club has evolved from being Australian, New Zealand focused to welcoming of all people from the neighborhood. And it's kind of become a neighborhood fixture. And I've been honored to be a part of it for 8 years. And it's a wonderful place. We're honored to be the 95th site to get the heritage plaque.
Well, now tell me about the ANZA Club as a performance and community venue in Mount Pleasant. What has it meant to that neighborhood? Because, as you say, it's become so much more than just a gathering place for folks from Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, it has. It's been a rental hall for so many different concerts, plays, comedy shows, birthday parties, weddings, funerals, all sorts of things can be held there. In particular, it was kind of known as a indie music venue where a lot of local Vancouver artists kind of had their first shows. It's also been noted as a very friendly place for LGBTQ plus peoples. There's drag nights that were held there for a very long time, long before that was kind of popular and socially welcomed. So I think it's meant a lot to a lot of people, and a lot of people from historically marginalized communities and a lot of artists.
Now, many performance venues have been challenged by the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now we're face to face with these tariff threats from the United States. How is the venue managing these days? What is its financial health like, if you can speak to that? And what are its future plans?
Absolutely. I mean, it was very challenging COVID time, as you no doubt know. The only thing that probably saved us was just that the society owns the property itself. We're not a renter. If we had just been renting the property, I'm not sure we would have survived COVID. But yeah, we made a down payment in the 1960s of $5,000, and we've been able to survive because of that. But even still, COVID was very challenging. We took the CEBA loan from the government. Fortunately, we're able to pay that off, but it really kept us afloat, which was a great thing. And since the pandemic, our financial health has rebounded. We're very fortunate to be in the position that we're in, but there's a lot of spaces right now that are closing or struggling because of the after effects of that pandemic. And yeah, I got to say the Vancouver Heritage Foundation's Places That Matter program is so important for spaces like this because, to lose these historic spaces, you lose part of the fabric of the culture, I think, because history is not just trade deals. It's not just tariffs. It's not just global conflicts. It's the connections you make and meeting people of different walks of life at a concert, a show, for a drink or two. that's history too. That feeds our culture. So to have an organization like VHF that's dedicated to preserving spaces like this, it's just such a wonderful gift, and we're honored to be a part of this program.